There's a motorcycle. Hold on. Okay, he's gone. Hello guys, and welcome to another video, where today we have a whole mess of shit to talk about. So, have you ever noticed that schools are just stupid? Like, it's insane the crap they tell you at school. Well, we bring up schools because I have a story. And this story, like many others, starts in a hole in the ground. And in a hole in the ground, there lived a me sitting in the dark, working and working and working. And as the title suggests, I was working on a cloak, sewing my little heart out on some thick black fabric just so I could have a cloak to wear and enjoy as you usually do when you're making clothes. I began this cloak making project on a Saturday after competing and finished it the following Monday, literally moments before the rolled up I began this cloak-making project on a Saturday after competing and finished it the following Monday, literally moments before the bus rolled up to its stop. I wore it to school that day. In lieu of wearing my new black cloak, I dressed in all black. Black pants, for once, my combat boots, a black shirt, my black flannel. I even wore a choker necklace and fingerless gloves to complete the emo look. Before I left, my dad told me not to fight with anyone if they asked me to take my cloak off. Just to take it off. Keep that in mind, it's important. So I get to school Monday wearing my cloak. I'm so happy this thing. I was feeling badass. It's amazing. So we go through the day and no one said anything more to me than, hey, what's that thing on your back at the moment? Right? We get to third block. Got less than 2 hours in the day. I'm feeling great. This cloak, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna get to wear it without a hitch, and life is just gonna be great. Well, here's the thing, younger me. You were wrong. So third block is our lunch block, right? We had to lunch in the middle of class and nom on some food and come back. Well, the teacher usually lets us go to the bathroom after lunch, as you do, because we're humans. And you gotta pee. Like, that's just how that works. But kids tend to be obnoxious. And we can't be quiet, apparently, so we had to go in pairs. So I go out, wearing my cloak, of course, and walk down the hall and into the bathroom and do my business. By the time I get back out into the hall, I'm still feeling great. This is gonna be great. Life is gonna go wonderfully. Nothing can get in my way. Why are you wearing that? A teacher stops me in the hall, asking me about this cloak that I'm wearing. So I answer with, because I'd rather wear a cloak than a jacket, and kept going, because I've got to get back to class, man. I got shit to learn about in geometry. I ain't got time for this crap. So I make my way back to the classroom, and I sit down, and not a minute passes before the intercom goes off and calls me into the office. And as this call goes on, that teacher from the hall comes in the door, talking to my geometry teacher about something. I don't know what it was, but it was something. I got up and walked out. No getting out of this one, right? Yeah, right. So down the hall I go, into the office, to see the teacher. This is most definitely about my clothes. I step up and around the front desk and stand between the two, counselor off in front of and to the right of me, and ask the question, what's wrong with my cloak? It greatly upsets me. You can see my frustration here. More than halfway through the day without a complaint, and this teacher being the only one, mind you, who had halted my entire day over a cloak. Really now? Really? Eventually, she tells me that I could hide a gun in it, because it's long. And I can't argue, so I take it off and walk back to class. Needless to say, I put it back on and went back home without a hitch. The next day, I wore it the whole day without a single problem. I thought I was off scot-free. Then Wednesday came along. Wednesday was interesting to say the least. First class went well. Then we were at break, and the true cloak fiasco began. I was standing in the hall, unable to go outside because of testing, when I saw one of our vice principals walking towards me. He was holding a box of chips, so I assumed that he was going to sell things and went on, when he stopped by me and told me to take off my cloak. He spent a while answering my whys with because I told you so's until I finally got because it's against the dress code out of him, which I know isn't true because I know the dress code. So I tell him that it isn't, and he tells me that either I can take it off or I can go talk to the principal. So off I go to talk to the principal, telling him that's where I'm headed. When I got there, she, being the principal, was in a meeting. So I had the secretary write me down for an appointment at the end of the next block. So I leave, and I go to class, and the end of my second class of the day comes, and it goes, and I've gotten pissed, and I'll tell you why. When people don't keep their word to me, I feel like I'm being lied to, and I inherited my vehement hatred of being lied to from my dad. Anyways, at this point, more than half the block has passed. There are only a few hours left on the school day, and we've headed to lunch. Me, of course, wearing my cloak. So I go stand in the line, and that teacher, that one from the beginning of the story, comes barreling at me. You've got to go take that off. So I'm telling her that I'm not going to take it off until I talk to the principal, and she drags me off to go talk to her. All the while, I'm screaming that I tried to go talk to her about the exact same shit an hour ago. On the short walk to the office, she told me I wouldn't wear it until I spoke to the principal, and I retaliated that I would until she told me what rule I was breaking. And of course, because I wasn't breaking any rules, I was going to keep it on. I sat in the office for 10 minutes before calling my dad up to school. I knew I was about to have a fight, and I needed some more intelligent cavalry. By the time he got there, I had enough time to tell him the entire story up to this point before going to have the conversation in the office. During this hour-long conversation, a few things came up that I believe need to be shared. Apparently my cloak is offensive because I look like a school shooter and could hide a large weapon in it. Keep in mind that I can't close it without much trouble. Second, I shouldn't be allowed to wear the cloak I spent 3 full days making because it's just a blanket with a clip. Third, I am the most disrespectful son of a bitch that ever went to that school. Disrespectful to teachers and students alike. Now, I wouldn't be too offended at the first 2 things. Really, seems alright to me. No need to be panicking anyone, I was just making a point. But being called the most disrespectful person at the school, bullshit. Talk to any other person at the school. In fact, both principals, after this teacher left, advocated for my not having a disrespect problem. Point is, I wasn't going to get in trouble for not breaking a rule, so I caused a mess, and that was a doozy of a story. It was a pleasure to share. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. You can follow me on social media, where you'll find posts of all my art. Any of my finished pieces are uploaded to DeviantArt, and I post works in progress as well as daily month-long challenges works on Twitter. If you like my style and want a piece of your own, I do commissions on DeviantArt and have a Zazzle shop, links in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment. I would love to read what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.